from people who have been part of some of the organizing efforts who spoke to BC Housing, and they acknowledge that they don't really have the spaces. They don't have the spaces. They're just looking for spaces here and there within buildings just the same way they would normally, and that's few and far between. They don't have a plan. They don't have 100+ spaces. They don't really have a way to house all the people that they're evicting.
Fiona, good to hear you this morning. We really appreciate the time as always.
Thank you very much.
You take care.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye. That's Fiona York, an advocate for the campers in Crab Park. 20 minutes after 8 o'clock on the early edition.
I assume that they're not going to talk about COVID and anything like that. And I tune into CBC as I didn't want to listen to some crap music. And so homeless and the homeless issue for years, they keep talking back and forth, tear the tents down, get rid of the city, like a homeless city park or a tent city, right? Homeless are coming back. It's stupid ways of thinking. Like the doctors are just treating at the surface. It's like I'll give you some pills, get rid of some pain. I'll give you some cream, get rid of some stuff. While let's say you get rid of some stuff on your face, some spots, but actually inside the body is suffering and is expressing through some marks on the face, some patches of different colors. It's like the mushrooms is only what you see outside. That's the mushroom, but under the ground it's a lot of stuff. So the mushrooms are just the fruits of the mycelium. Same thing here at homeless. You have a big deep problem, and what you see here, just like homeless people popping on the streets, is just the tip of that iceberg. It's just what's visible because it's out of the normal. So we tend to look around, and as the humans, we only see or notice if we open the mind. So if we don't, then it's like, I'm driving to work, yeah, COVID, that's okay, same news. When the new variant comes on the world, oh, COVID, yeah, oh yeah, booster vaccines, I need to. Then a month later, yeah, new COVID, yeah, I'm going to work, yeah, I need to get my coffee, yeah, some coffee, yeah. Oh yeah, music, yeah, I need some entertainment, yeah. Coffee with no milk. Anyway, so that's a human behavior. That's okay. I'm not judging. It's like I got to read, but I just opened my mind more often to different topics. So in my world, if the market goes up and down and some peaks in the financial market, like it shows some recession, yeah, the people who are aware of the financial market are open for it. They like, wow, ooh, what happened? People like one of my kids, people like me, okay, they talked about the financial market, okay, well, I don't know, it's like, I don't know my thing. So we divide our attention and focus on different topics, and even then, let's say if I'm focused on the homeless, even then, after a while, if it's nothing changing, it's getting dull. So it's no more news. Trump is gone, no more news about some interesting guy doing like making waves. So that's the way people treat these homeless. They might become nuisance once they set up some fire, another tent city, or when the firefighters move in to clean up the area. Some people make it a political issue on their agenda, right? So people take advantage of this left and right, like NGOs. There are lots of NGOs. People make money. I'm not saying make good money, but you know, it's a profit for some, and some people at the top, they make good cash. You know, they take home $100,000 because helping homeless. So there are people who are passionate about it. Other people are just like a middleman. Oh yeah, we'll take some money from the city. We'll feed the homeless. Okay, it's good for us, so we stay in business. We stay in business if we maintain this or maintain if the homeless never go away. So that's another type of thinking. So what's the actual problem, and why we can never get rid of the problem? I mean, we can get rid of the homeless, but it will always come back. It's like same thing, like people try to get rid of the rats, right? So they kill the rats. The rats are survivors and are here to clean up some stuff. They clean decay, and so they have a purpose. But for some people, rats are pests, and they come with poison. They poison their land, they poison their environment, kill the rats, but they still leave garbage. So new rats come in. So with the homeless, same thing. They would love the people above who clean up, and they never care because they don't have the same reality and experience like homeless. They live in a fancy office. They grew up in a cozy home. They probably got some love from their parents. They had everything they wanted. You know, those people end up being politicians and pulling strings, and they know how to talk. People like me and you, and we learn how to work with hands. That's why I don't have brain. Okay, I did not train my brain. We learn how to use our body as a tool, work with hands. Some love it, some don't. Some don't have enough brain to get a job in the office or in politics. And because of that, we are a different category of people compared to the politicians. So politicians, they use more their brain than the body. So they did not have to work hard in the garden. They didn't have to work hard in the bushes to take care of the farm and stuff like that, because their parents had enough wealth to push these kids to lead a life that required brain. So they train their brain. Now they talk. You heard the woman earlier. She is a talker. She might be an advocate, like lots of politicians stand for the homeless and for the abused and for the bullied and stuff. But at mind, the brain wise, they are talking. They are talkers, not really doers with the physical stuff. And I'm trying to make it short. This recording short. I'm going to work. So they only do stuff like that from the top, like from the surface. Take the spray, kill the bugs, but leave the mess. And what's the mess here? What's the actual root of the problem? So one of the root problems in downtown East Side is the First Nation population. So those people think differently. They're genetically built differently. Last night I cleaned up some of my stuff, and I had a pamphlet from an office or a medical office that provides genetical testing services. And in one of the items on the list, what they show, it's like your ancestry, your lifestyle possible habits, hair color, if you have these bros, if they are joined it around, how to say it, unibrow maybe. So different features that comes from your genetics, and the way you think, the way you're taking certain jobs, the way you love certain jobs, your diet is all in the genetics. So these people in the First Nations communities, they were forced to change. So the whites came, occupied their land, and they forced these people to change. And to make that change faster and more efficient, they took with the help of the Catholic Church, they took the kids. You may not know about residential schools. If you're first time listening about Canadian social problems, residential schools. So in order to make this change and to get rid of the First Nations culture in traditions, and to erase a nation, what they did, they used the cops, used the Catholic Church as a part of the system to take the kids from their parents, their families, and retrain. So change their diet, change their habits, change their language, ways of thinking. So it's like making the kids forget their roots. It's like that's really genocide. It's like a social genocide. And now Pope, the Pope from Vatican came to Canada to apologize. Okay, apologize, so what? People might have power to forgive, but it's a deep wound, and most of these people will never recover. Years of abuse, beaten, treatment like that, and just an emotional thing, the emotional trauma. It's like how you erase that. So that's kind of the idea. One of the big problem is that lots of people ended up with depression, with nasty anxiety, emotional problem, and they cannot fix it, and they have to use substance. And when I go on downtown east side, so I drive through the area, I see who are the most residents. Like lots of people who have mental issues. They appear that they are so messed up because they are under drugs, but not everyone had like a nasty mental issue that required like a mental hospital. Yeah, some people just dealt with I should stop talking. Dealt with this emotional problem, and they could not take it anymore, and they so they were like, kind of okay, but now they have to use substance because they go deeper and deeper. The social services, what the heck, the social services, all these things that are provided to these homeless, like I said, they're just some robots who took some education in that field, and they know how to look at the problem from the surface. I don't think they have the ability to dig deeper. I don't think they have the ability to take one of those messed up people who have some mental issue. Some people are born with mental issues because they came from parents who were drinking, right? So if a woman is pregnant and has anxiety and this depression because of the generational trauma, she will abuse substance, and the kid comes out with a mental disability most of the times. So that happens, like people doing drugs, having sex, making this type of kids. It's a known medical issue, and people don't address this one at the roots. Like, you know what? We still have time to look at the newer generation of First Nations, or even the white, or any other type of social category of people. We need to look at the root problem. Like, we go deep into the daycare. So when they went into the daycare, or not daycare, like into those families, they try to actually erase. So they knew what they were doing. They were going right to the roots to destroy. But now, since we learned this lesson and the world evolved, we can go at the roots and create systems in the education system that prevents this type of social problems, right? So, and doesn't have to push the kids to become the best robots. No, you have to listen to their genetics, what they are meant for, how they feel happy, when they feel happy, how they get excited about doing stuff. So they contribute at the same time, and they love themselves, and they feel good, and they feel that they trust the educational system. So if you ask the First Nations, do they still trust the schools? Do I trust the whites who destroyed my ancestors? No. So you have to change this stuff deeper at the roots. So that's kind of the idea. These people, they only know how to treat the surface. You will always see the homeless. There are no services that they really do. Maybe they might do some counseling. I've been to one counseling session in my life in Canada. Only one session. So I had some panic attacks, and I thought, okay, let's try to do these things because people do it. And I'm telling you, it was a total bullshit. It was a woman, and I talk like I talk now, and I express, and my mind is going, is like it's like looking wide and far and stuff. And she is talking, and I expect her, and I take breaks, and expecting her to have a dialogue, like let's ask questions, let's talk. No, she's talking, she's sitting like that with a pen next to her lip or her mouth, like that, pretending listening. And why I say that she was pretending, because when she wrote some notes on my file, so I read my file, and when she wrote notes, she said, yeah, he was talking at length. So some sort of she did not put the essence, what the heck I was trying to express. No, she just said, he was talking at length. But did she listen? No. So these people do a job, and I paid out of my pocket $120 Canadian dollars. Yeah, and I thought, yeah, should I give her a kind of a review, like she is just a machine. She thought she might be able to help, or maybe it's a good job, pays well, she doesn't have to do the dishes at the McDonald's, right? So I thought to write something. I said, well, you know what, forget about it. She is part of the system because she decided to be part of the system that probably pays, gives a job, a stable job, retirement. She goes home, she has a dog, walks the dog, gets the love from the dog. So I can recognize people who love to help, people who have that passion, have they connect with you differently. They want to give you a hug from their Zoom meeting or something. Yeah, I love you. It's like some Jesus guy on the Zoom and loves you and who you are down in the dirt, love you, So you think how much love they can provide after 10 years of working. She said she had 30 years of counseling. So how much they love. You know what? If God made you love people, if God made you save people, God made Jesus, right? So his son, or whoever is Jesus, if God made Jesus to love from when he was born to 30 something when he got killed, probably there are such people. Where are those people? We don't know, but I only saw some robots. I mean, I saw some doctors, actually. I saw some doctors with heart, right? I saw some. But otherwise, people do jobs. So when people do jobs, and the media is just reporting, it's like, okay, we do our job. I report it, we talk homeless, yeah, get us audience. So when everyone is doing a job instead of doing their work, the society doesn't really evolve towards love and towards what God envisions. Now another problem is the exploitation. So let me conclude my video. The exploitation, the social inequality. So right now, after this COVID, I saw an explosion, a burst of new tents in that tent city in the Hastings area. And I was like, what? I never saw so many tents, one next to each other. And this lady at the interview explained that, you know, like people come out, it's a traditional place where they gather, they feel safe. It's true, it's true. I expressed the same thought in previous videos. Yeah, they feel they have a body. Someone understands their pain and suffering. So I got that. But now there are so many. So governments pull this made-up pandemic over people. People lived in fear. People lost jobs. People got into deeper depression. So many people lost jobs because of this stupid pandemic fear. It's not because really they got fired, but you know, like, I can't take it anymore. It's too much for me, they think. And so now more and more people come on the streets, while more and more people get richer and richer. So they bumped up the fuel prices. All prices went up. Now the fuel prices went down because of certain type of maneuvers, right? They have to sell. You can't keep people not driving and saving money by keeping the car in the garage, not going long trips, and keep some businesses shut down because they rely on the fuel prices. You can't do that. So they lower the prices, maybe political, I don't know, but the prices went down another 30% or something. And but the food prices still are the same, right? So they went up with the energy. Food prices, rents went up, everything went up. So they will not readjust, come down. So that's the way they do it every time. They want to keep people enslaved. And some people cannot make it past this stage. They end up on the streets. So they just fall off. So it's like a big truck full of people trying to hang on this economy. Like, yeah, I need to go with it. I don't want to fall down, because down is something you're on the dirt. So you hang on, but it's so crowded. And people at the tops, they sit in the nice comfy seats on the top of this big truck, like driving the truck. Yeah, I have some lice hanging. Look at those rats. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so those people who barely hang on, including couples who try to hang on their marriage and stuff, they just keep falling off, and they end up on the streets here on the dirt, and they try to cover themselves with some shelter made up tarp. Right, that's the way it is. And I don't know, you think it's going to change if they never address the root cause? No, because if they address the root cause, it doesn't benefit the people at the top. Right, see you later, bye-bye. Think of it.